We got another chance to play Phantom Blade Zero at Tokyo Game Show 2025, and honestly, the current build feels miles ahead of last year's version. What used to feel like a concept demo now feels like a fully realized game. The Wuxia essence is stronger, the combat's tighter, and the system finally has its own identity. The game still blends ARPG and Soulslike element, but it carries its own tension, that life and death in a single sword swing feeling. So, curious about Phantom Blade Zero? Let's dive in.
Hey, this is Sean from Gamer Braves. It's been 8 years since we established Gamer Braves channel. We went to a lot of overseas game conference. We did a lot of exclusive interview with a lot of prominent figures from the industry, Ryuzo Sugimoto, Sean Layden, and even Yagu. One of the easiest way to support us is to subscribe to our channel. Support like this will actually gives us motivation and pushes us to produce better content. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. Please enjoy the rest of the video.
The demo we played was set on Game Changer difficulty, basically medium difficulty, featuring an exploration segment and 3 boss fights, which is Wanjun, Copper Mall, Red Wraith, and the chief disciple of the 7 stars as the final showdown. From walking and running to jumping and wall kicking, the animations are incredibly fluid and responsive. Every movement is motion captured with that elegant wuxia touch. Even a simple wall jump ends with a graceful spin before landing. It all feels cinematic, like stepping into the shoes of a wandering martial artist. Combat is still the crown jewel here. You can carry 2 main weapons and 2 Phantom Edge weapons, which is the secondary. Each main weapon has its own Sha-Chi bar, a stamina-like system. Once it's depleted, you cannot parry or dodge, but switching weapons instantly refills it. This adds a rhythmic strategic flow to every duel. Weapon variety is solid. Longsword, dual blades, whip sword, serpent blade, and ring blade, each with their own counter animations and executions. The key mechanics are precise parry and precise dodge. When enemies flash blue, that's a brutal move. Time your parry perfectly and you will trigger a ghost stab counter, draining the enemy's Sha-Chi. When they flash red, that's a killer move, which can only be dodged. Each weapon has its own ghost stab animation, and once you learn enemy patterns, battles start to feel like a deadly dance. Fast, rhythmic, and beautiful in motion. Unlike most Souls-like titles, Phantom Blade Zero leans more on fluid combos and rhythmic tempo. You can chain light and heavy attacks using Sha-Chi to extend your combos. Each move has to flow naturally. You'll need to wait for animations to finish before continuing. This encourages a defensive mindset in boss fights but lets you unleash longer, flashier combos against regular enemies. In Phantom Blade Zero, you have concentration mode. When activated, time slows down and most incoming attacks are auto-blocked, but your Sha-Chi continuously drains. It's all about balance, really. Strike too early or stay too long, and running out of Sha-Chi at the wrong moment can be fatal. Once you've drained an enemy Sha-Chi, you can perform cinematic execution moves unique to each weapon type. In terms of tempo, the combat sits somewhere between the precision of Souls-like games and the momentum-driven flow of ARPG. It demands rhythm, shifting between aggression and defense, switching weapons mid-duel, and mastering ghost stab timing. And when your Sha-Chi runs dry, but you instantly draws your second blade to keep the combo alive, that's when the game's true identity shines, a deadly duel choreographed like a martial arts dance. The first boss, Wanjun, Copper Mall, is a massive brute wielding a giant hammer with a devastating AoE attack. Every swing has its own counter module, meaning different parry timings trigger different ghost stab reaction. For example, parry at the right moment as he swings his hammer, and your character will leap onto the handle, slicing downward in a cinematic strike. The kind of moment that makes you instinctively go, how is that even possible? This dynamic counter system makes every duel feel alive and unpredictable. Next up is Red Wraith, a fast-paced duel on top of a tower, stylish, intense, and straight out of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Interestingly, this fight is actually completely optional, so you can skip it entirely. And finally, the chief disciple of the 7 stars closes the demo with an unforgettable battle. He controls 7 puppets in formation, and in phase 2, the whole tone shifts. He's suspended by 4 red strings like a puppet himself. The arena glows in crimson light, with the soundtrack blending erhu and metal riffs, setting an intense atmosphere. His attacks becomes faster and more chaotic and relentless. And if you skipped the Red Wraith fight earlier, she will join this boss to assist him, turning it into a brutal 2-on-1 battle. The chaos is breathtaking, fast, brutal, and utterly satisfying when you manage to survive by the skin of your teeth. The progress Phantom Blade Zero has made this year is undeniable, from intricate architecture textures to layered lighting, reflections, and moody fog. Every visual element exudes polish, something rarely seen in Chinese action titles. Performance-wise, the demo ran flawlessly with no frame drops or stutters, showing clear improvements in combat feedback and system depth. If the developers continue to refining combo flow and boss responsiveness, Phantom Blade Zero could step out from the shadow of Soulslike comparison and carve its own path, potentially setting a new benchmark for Eastern Fantasy ARPGs, following in the footsteps of Black Myth Wukong. So, what do you think of Phantom Blade Zero now? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching this video, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.